Lornsword Winter Chronicle is a very interesting take on the idea of an action real-time strategy game. And while there are some elements that are interesting, again, I think runs into that issue of being a cool idea, but kind of hard in implementation. Now, the footage that you're seeing right now is taken from a pre-early access play of the game. It is currently on early access right now. What you see may not represent the current version of it. But despite the title, yes, we are in a desert, not so much in winter time here. But the game itself is played in this isometric style. It is very hard to see, but I am controlling a character on the screen right now. And unlike other action-focused games or action strategy focused, such as Sacrifice and Brutal Legend, your main character is not the strongest unit on the field. Instead, your power comes in from the ability to kind of manage the situation and summon in units or elementals to help you. So, this definitely is not a real-time strategy game of kind of about bulk or rush-based elements. Instead, each map plays out kind of like a pseudo-puzzle, requiring you to figure out how to get your units to where they need to go and complete the task without being overrun. Now, the game itself is kind of built around this idea of passive management. Your character can command units, but they have to run back to the barracks or wherever your unit production building is to kind of, I guess, wrestle or rope them in, and then you set them loose. And you can only have, I think it was like 16 or 15 units under your banner at a single time. And this creates a very weird kind of dynamic that you run back to the base, you just immediately grab as many people as you can, run back to the front line, set them down, run on back, and repeat. It's not like a lot of the older games where you had either an unlimited macro or unlimited group command, or ways of setting up an easy rally point. One of the more confusing aspects of I'm sorry if I'm butchering that a little bit, is that you can set up, like you build different structures which can then be upgraded using gold, but you can set up some kind of rally or a general command system in a certain direction, but you don't have control over being able to adjust it or redirect it. And the whole setup felt very confusing. In fact, one thing that you may or may not have noticed is that this is a real-time strategy or quasi-real-time strategy game that is built on a gamepad, not a keyboard and mouse interface. The other abilities that you get are kind of like the powers of summoning these elementals. And the idea is that you build the corresponding elemental tower back at your home base for a certain cost, and then they will provide you with aid. Each element has a different purpose or functionality. I think like air was kind of like range lightning, earth was kind of a heavy, slower units, and you get the picture. Now, the one thing that we did not get any footage of when we were playing this, and I'm not sure if it's even in the early access version right now, was what the developers were kind of describing as the long form of the campaign, where you didn't have to complete every map, and that your choices and levels would change depending upon certain decisions. What we were playing was kind of just the opening act. I think it was like World or Campaign 1 and 2. But, like I said, it's definitely an interesting idea. It's one that we really don't see too often, but I'm having a hard time kind of getting into this game. And we'll talk a little bit more about that after a quick word to our Patreon supporters and sponsors. And now for a quick thank you to our Patreon supporters and current Game Wisdom sponsors. If you would like to continue this discussion on game design, be sure to check out our Discord channel, linked down below. From what I played of Lornsword, I like this idea. Again, we really don't see too many action strategy kind of titles. But unfortunately, I think this is an example of one of the reasons why we don't see too many of those designs. The game just felt very cumbersome to play. With this inability to easily set up rally points and commanding large units around, it kind of felt like they were trying to reinvent the wheel or fix something that wasn't broken. And for people who've played this, I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this one as well. Because we were playing this on stream, and like everyone was just like wondering, like, is there more to this game, or what is the hook of it? Now, the footage you're seeing right now is of a little bit later on in the early campaign that we were playing, where we finally get building constructions and being able to set things up like that. But again, there's so little control you have over your units that the game has a hard time really, I guess, filling you in as to what are your viable options. Should I build melee units? Should I build ranged units? Is it better to maybe use a fire elemental here or a earth elemental? And a lot of this, I think, just comes from having to do trial and error. Another big point, again, is the issue of unit rallying, sorry about that, and just your army management. With such a small number of units, and the rest of them just kind of doing their own thing, it just never really got interesting to me. And one of the things I didn't like was that the enemy AI, like my units were so weak that the AI could start building a structure. My units can attack it while it's in pre-construction, and they would not finish destroying it. It was just crazy when we saw that happen on stream a few times. And there's just not much here, I think, at least in the version that we played, that suggests there's going to be a lot more in terms of strategy or depth. There is a heavy emphasis on story and, again, the choices, but we really didn't get that from this version. And it leaves me with, well, not much else to say about this game. Unlike, it's very interesting, I think, to draw parallels to They Are Billions. That They Are Billions started out very effective with its core gameplay loop and something a lot of people enjoyed, but I would argue that they didn't really go much further than that. With Lornsword over here, I hope that we see them improve things, because there definitely is a market for this kind of design, especially with how few and far between they are. But it may have to call upon a change in the UI, which I don't know developers are willing to do or want to do. But like I said a few minutes ago, I'm curious what you think about this game from the footage that you've seen, or if you had a chance to play it yourself. Again, it is available on early access right now if you want to give it a check. And I do want to thank the developers for giving me a press kit to check this one out, even though I, unfortunately, didn't really enjoy it as much as some of the other titles we've played. But if you let me tickle your game in the future for an analysis piece, please don't hesitate to get in touch, but check back for daily discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Until next time, this has been Lornsword Winter Chronicle, and I'll see you all next time.